Thanks to the support as a channel member, Nathan Curry. Yeah, it's worked out that it's pretty simple, Mrs Wearmouth. We've got 2 games left. We're 1 point behind Ipswich. We play Ipswich now. If we beat them, we go above them. If we win both of our remaining 2 games, we are a championship football club. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to involve upgrading the facilities again, so don't be too excited. Hello and welcome to part 49 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the final 2 games of the regular league season, both at home. We face Ipswich and Walsall. Since you were last with me, we have been in pretty good form until we went away from home to Southend. Without that defeat at Southend, there was a good chance that we could have ended up even potentially going up as champions, but certainly involved in the automatic promotion mix more than we are currently. Bristol Rovers are already up. Southend, who've just beaten us, are only 3 points behind us. And in fact, Wimbledon down in 7th place, although we've got a game in hand over them, only 4 points. But actually, that means they can't catch us, doesn't it? We're already in the playoffs. I can see the PL just there. Let's not worry about people catching us. We've definitely at least got the playoffs. But this game against Ipswich is massive. It is at the home of football. We're 1 point behind them with a vastly superior goal difference. If we beat Ipswich here, we are looking very, very good for automatic promotion to the championship. Lose, and it's definitely the playoffs for us. So this is the team we're going to put out there to try, if I can find the team, to try and secure, well, not secure, to try and take a big leap towards championship football. We're going with Alex Williams in goal. I love the fact there's 3 of our name in the game homegrown heroes in this starting 11 again. Alex Williams in goal, a back four of Hall, Davies, Charles and Brewerton, Hodgkinson and Curry in midfield, Hamilton and Whittaker out wide, and Beereth and Jessup up front. Connor Roberts, another name in the game channel member, is down on the bench as well. In fact, along with him is another one of our promising youngsters who's come through, following the Mick Powell, Troy Cannon path. He's gone under the radar a little bit. Jonathan Akani, 17 years old, hasn't been picked up as a name in the game player, but does have 5-star potential. So he's one who could potentially end up a very, very good player for us. He's a central midfielder who has already played a couple of games for us. And if we don't manage to get Kieran Hodgkinson next year, Akani could be the man who takes the step up into that starting 11 alongside Nathan Curry, who is already tied down to return to the club again for another season-long loan next year. But that's why, if you're a Name in the Game channel member, you need to keep an eye on that community page. And sometimes those initial potential abilities aren't necessarily the be-all and end-all, because I'm presuming Akani, and they're all still on the community page, so you can go and check if you want, but I'm assuming Akani, when he first came through, wasn't showing his 5-star potential, because if he was, someone would have snapped him up, or I've missed someone snapping him up. Might have to go back and check that. But I think it's the case that nobody picked him up. If he's got a new name next episode, it's because someone said, Kev, look, I claimed him here. And there's no use going to claim him now, but if anyone did claim him back at the time, I'll retroactively change his name and, in my mind, edit this video. I'm not going to re-edit the video, obviously. But yeah, keep an eye on the Name in the Game stuff on the community page when it comes through, because you never know how good they're going to be. And that's 2 that have potentially slipped through the net now, in Cannon and Akani, who've gone on to become key members of the first team squad. Although Akani's not necessarily a key member of the squad yet, but at 17 to be on the bench for a game like this shows just how close he is to key player status. Hall has missed out on an interception there, and it's led to an Ipswich chance, and luckily they've fired it into the side netting. It's like we're playing FM20 again. Glorious stuff. Worryingly, though, a quarter of the game is gone, and we've not yet had a shot. This looks like we are in prime bottle job territory. It looks like the home of football is packed out. Hall trying a long throw, but it's returned straight back to us. Harrison Davies, though, giving it back to Hall with a dominant header, and now Hall with the cross, looking for Whittaker, and Whittaker with the header. The goalkeeper's made a little bit of a meal of that, I think. I think it's probably already going wide, but the goalkeeper doing a fancy old save, because I think the TV cameras are here tonight as well, and because it's such a big match. Ball forward from Hall, but Jessup can't chase it, and now Charles trying to just tidy things up again at the back, playing it back to Williams, and now Hodgkinson with the ball forward to Jessup, who plays it back to Nathan Curry. Curry forward to Beerif. Jessup's made a run here. Beerif plays it through to him, and there's the goal. Tommy Jessup, a 15th goal of the season. It's lovely football from home. It's played straight down the middle of the pitch, and all of our central players have touched it along the way. It started with Shay Charles and ends with Tommy Jessup firing home, and that is lovely, lovely football from us. Beerif still playing as that supporting target man. Really is an excellent link-up player for us. Switching him back to being a supporting striker has been key to the form that we've shown in this last third of the season. And as you can see by the now updated league table, if things end as they are, we move above Ipswich into second place on 89 points with a better goal difference, meaning we could go into the final day of the season knowing a draw would almost certainly be enough to secure us a place in the Championship. We obviously don't want to be playing for a draw, though, and we obviously also want to make sure that we don't now throw things away here against Ipswich, because Ipswich have been the better side so far. They're going to feel a little bit robbed by what the scoreline is showing currently, but they're in here. Williams makes the save, and Hall is there to clear as far as Hamilton on this left-hand side, and we need a lot of big players to have a big 45 minutes now, because we haven't looked great in this game, apart from that goal. But we have got an opportunity to show some character, show some fire, and force our way up into the Championship. But once again, the second half starts, and the first highlight is an Ipswich one, because everything is Ipswich. Every highlight apart from the goal has been Ipswich. And they're in again here, and Davies has lost his man, and there's an equaliser almost immediately after the restart. And Harrison Davies, I think this might be the first time in nearly 50 episodes of this series where I've questioned him even a little bit. He just was a little bit slow to turn and cover his man here. He's watching the ball and not really aware that this guy's getting in behind him. It's probably more Andy Hall rather than Davies. I'm criticising Davies for not covering for Hall quickly enough. Hall probably should have been tracking his own runner, so I'll retract my criticism of Davies, and we hope that Tom Batarek-Piteta recovers from his broken ankle and agrees to come back to us on loan again next year, because there's an example of us missing him. But with 20 minutes to go, we kind of need a goal. Ipswich are going to be happy coming out of this with a draw, because they then go into the final game of the season ahead of us, knowing they just have to win to secure promotion, and we're then stuck down in the smelly old playoffs. Right, Nathan Curry is going to come off. Bandera is going to come on for him. We'll swap those two over in midfield. And now we're looking for someone who can come on and change this game. Beerif, I think, is going to be... Oh, we don't have Danny Pritchard on the bench. Whose idea was that? Ugh. I'm reaching for Pritchard there, and he's let me down. He's not there. Do I bring on a Carney for Hodgkinson? That seems like a terrible idea. I think we're going to bring on Cannon for Beerif and have Troy Cannon playing as that pressing forward deep that he's played so many times before this season. We're going to drop a little bit of encouragement, because we know encouragement is the new demanding more. And now Micah Hamilton has picked up a knock, and that means Jonathan Akani is going to have to come on to play out wide on this left-hand side. He's not particularly comfortable doing it either, but we'll stick him out there as a winger. In fact, I might even do something a little bit lopsided and fruity and drop him back here and push Hodgkinson forward to there. Make him the playmaker. Make him... Actually, no, he can stay in there as... Can we even make him a shadow striker? Shadow striker behind her? Maybe we do this and we just shuffle everyone over a little bit to make room for Hodgkinson to get through. Will you just move? Move, Tommy! There we go. It crowds Whittaker a little bit. But we've got to try and win the game. A draw is as good as a defeat. We need to win this game. So we're doing the most lopsided piece of nonsense I've done in a long time. But in fact, I think probably Troy Cannon up there is the man I want in the middle. And then Jessup. In fact, no. Jessup can be a false nine. He's going to do that. What is this? Well, let's see if it works, shall we? We're going to demand more now. We've got to try and find a goal from somewhere. Imagine if this works. Tactical shenanigans. I mean, it's got everyone in roughly their correct positions. More! This is the furthest forward we've played Kieran Hodgkinson in his entire home career, I think. Davies, heads clear. And now we've got the chance for the counter-attack. It's with Akani, who's drifted over to the right-hand side inexplicably. Did he not look at the tactics board? Troy Cannon is in, though. Hodgkinson's in acres of space. Why Cannon hasn't gone to Hodgkinson there, I don't know. He was completely unmarked because Ipswich don't know what to do with this front four. But we just completely ignored him. Akani now on the left. Plays it to Hall. Hall back to Davies. This feels like this is going to be the opportunity for us. Ball forward to Akani. Doesn't find him, but it's with Hall again. Playing it over the top. Once again, looking for Akani. Davies now. Bandera's got all the time in the world. Plays it out to Whittaker, who's got Brewerton on the overlap, but instead cuts inside and has a shot. He should be playing that out to Brewerton. That cross. We've got men lining up in the middle for the cross, and that just felt very wasteful. And I think we might be throwing automatic promotion away here. Bandera to Hodgkinson. Hodgkinson now with options all around him. He goes to Akani on his left. There are players in the middle. Troy Cannon has just scored the goal, which could fire home into the championship. One of our homegrown heroes. He's come through our youth team. What an important goal for home. Kieran Hodgkinson massively involved. Akani is involved as well. These are all our own youth players. It's a beautiful thing. And Troy Cannon has scored, and we need to adjust this system. Rather than waxing lyrical about how great we are, we probably need to just make this a little bit more sensible, and maybe even just doing that, drop Whittaker back a little bit, and go to more of a 4-3-3 kind of thing. This probably doesn't need to be as lopsided as it is, but we'll leave it as is. It'll be fine. And I think we have won the football match. My word, that went to 97 minutes in the end. In reality, that would have been one of the most stressful 97 minutes of my life. But the important thing is we have secured the 3 points, and we now go into the final game of the season knowing a draw is enough. We've got almost 20 goal advantage over Ipswich. If we grab that one more point, we are a championship football team. And what a game for Harrison Davies to reset the new record for home record appearances. Oliver Wright had pulled out ahead of him. I think it was like a year and a half ago. Oliver Wright went past Harrison Davies, but of course, Wright losing his place to Williams this season means Davies has now pushed past Wright again. 189 league appearances now for Harrison Davies. Still only 22 years old. He is going to play a lot of football matches for us before his career is done. Well, talk about cheating. Unless the Ipswich game is being moved as well, we might be about to secure promotion without playing a match. We've got a waterlogged pitch at the home of football. So our final game of the season has been moved back 3 days, which means by the time we play, we'll know how Ipswich have done. I feel like Mrs Wearmouth's been out all night with a hose pipe on that pitch, and she's got her way. And then to celebrate, she's given us £375,000 as well. Not close to enough money for what we actually need. What has gone on here? Has our budget's been reduced? When did that happen? I do not remember our budget's being reduced. Let's just adjust that. There you go. Got to keep Mrs Wearmouth happy. In actual fact, I think I moved them the other way to see if I had some spensies and then decided not to spend it. But in other news, we have offered a couple of players out while we're watering the pitch. Oliver Wright and Callum Cisse, both unhappy at the club because they want to be playing more football. And I think we're finally reaching the point. These two boys are both 23 years old. And I think we are now at the point where some of these players who've been, even if they've been with us a long time, 2-star current ability, 2.5-star potential ability, 2-star current ability, 3-star potential. Even after 5 years, I think their days are done. And we need to start shifting some of these older players out of the way. Keep the ones who are going to be regular starters, but these ones who have drifted down to fringe players as they hit 22, 23, 24, get them out of the way and make room for the next set of players to come through. So it'll be sad to see the two of them go. They've played close to probably over 350 games for the club between them, but there's just no room at this football club for hangers-on, and we have the next generation ready to come into the team, and in a lot of cases, already in the team. Let's go and see how Ipswich get on and continue trying to cheat our way into the championship. So here we go then, final day of the season. If we hit continue, Ipswich, where are they? You've probably seen it before me now. Ipswich 1. Okay. No, what? How does... Oh, it's a latest score. Why are we only getting latest scores? Give me the final score. What's going on? Ipswich lost. Ipswich lost. We've cheesed our way into the championship without even having to play the final game of the season. Beautiful. It's not even confirmed yet. And I don't even know why would that not be confirmed? I guess we could lose like 11-0 on the last day of the season. So we've got to play that game anyway. If we get absolutely smashed by Walsall, Ipswich sneak in on goal difference. But I'm pretty confident that's not going to happen. So a couple of changes for the final game of the season then against Walsall, and partly injury forced. Hamilton obviously getting injured in that last game, and partly because Troy Cannon just got a grumpy on in my team meeting to talk about promotion. So I had him in the team, and basically with Hamilton dropping out, Jessup had moved out to the side, and Cannon had come in up front. But then Cannon argued with me in a team meeting, so he can sit on the bench and think about what he's done. Kieran Hodgkinson can actually get an opportunity to finally play a football match for us as a striker. He can even be a complete forward. This is a wonderful thing. But let's see if Kieran Hodgkinson is a striker after all this time. Eli Campbell comes in to play in midfield alongside Nathan Curry. We just need to not lose, 11-0, 12-0? I can't remember what the goal difference was. But as long as we don't get absolutely smashed, we are good. Give me a league table. Give me one quickly. Right, we are... Okay, so it's actually only a 9-point gap. So in fact, where Ipswich have fallen all the way down there. Oh, because they lost, of course, and Colchester won. So it's Colchester who is... If we lose 10-0, Colchester go above us. I mean, in reality, how many Colchester fans come to this game tonight? Probably not many. Packing the away end for Walsall, and now furious that we've gone 1-0 up. And we are heading to the championship, boys and girls. Jessup, even when he's playing out on the left wing, can still weigh in with the goals. Hodgkinson with an excellent effort, and Jessup's there just to tidy things up and tuck the ball into the back of the net. I am thinking if we do manage to get Hodgkinson back again next year, which is a big if, because at 21 now, and having played a few games for Fulham last season, I suspect Fulham might want to use him. But if we do manage to get Hodgkinson back next year, I think we do need to find a way to get him involved a little bit further forward. Maybe in the attacking midfield role that we used him in the last game. Maybe he becomes a striker for us. Maybe someone like Beerith doesn't make the step up to the championship. Maybe Jessup is a winger. Who knows? We need to get Hodgkinson involved a little bit more attacking wise. Maybe not as an advanced forward like he's playing as today, but as more of a player to link up the midfield and the attack. Potentially switching to the 4-2-3-1. And having Hodgkinson in there behind a lone striker, which I guess long term would be Troy Cannon, but not if he's going to argue with me in team meetings. That's for sure. 1-0 at half time. We are taking it easy because we know the job is already done. We're not going to mess this up from here. And I think we're going to bring Callum Cisse on shortly to give him a goodbye. Oliver Wright is actually training with the under-23s. He's argued with me multiple times. He's tried to rabble-rouse a little bit because he wants to play football. So it's a little bit of he's going to be leaving under a little bit of a cloud. But we are going to give a standing ovation to Callum Cisse as he comes on for his final appearance in a home shirt. We're also going to bring Bandera on for Campbell. Bandera might be another one who's on his way out because he's another one who's getting on a little bit now at 22 and is drifting away from the first team. I mean, in reality, if he stays happy, he stays. But he has lost his place in the second half of the season to Curry and Hodgkinson. And you know what? I think we should bring Bacharek Piteta on because it might be his last appearance for the club. He's recovered from his injury and you never know. He might not come back next year. This might be the final time you see him play for us until he can join us permanently. I think he's got one more year left on his Blackpool contract. And we will obviously try and sign him on loan again next year. If a miracle happens and we have money to spend, we'll try and sign him permanently. But this might be the last you see of Tom Bacharek Piteta for a little while. Right, what have we got? 15 minutes remaining. I'd love to see a Callum Cisse goal. We saw him score a screamer earlier this season when it looked like he might get a run in the team as a midfielder. But then, unfortunately, just too many younger, better competitors for his place have emerged behind him. Brewerton solidifying his spot at right back really hasn't helped him. And the return of Hodgkinson in midfield was probably the final nail in his coffin. And of course, Hodgkinson won't be here next year. But now we've seen Akani come through as an option in that role. I just don't see Cisse ever being a regular starter again. And if he's unhappy about it, he's only going to get more unhappy. He's been here 5 years. He's an influential player at the club. We can't have unhappy, influential players around because that's how you start to lose the dressing room. Shay Charles now playing it out to Cisse. Might be the last time you ever see Callum Cisse kick a football for home. Beerith nods on for Kieran Hodgkinson in what could be his final touch for home. And he can't get the shot away. And I imagine we're going to see both of them get another touch now. In fact, we didn't. I thought Cisse was going to go over there and take the throw. 2 minutes of the game left now. It's looking increasingly unlikely we're going to concede 11 goals in that time. So I think we can safely assume we are now a championship club. The question is that going to bring in a bunch of cash? Because we could say, oh, there you go. There's your final contribution from Cisse. If you're wondering why he's leaving, he's never been a right back. He's always been a midfielder playing there. And he's proved it one more time there that he's just not a right back. Bless his cotton socks. And Walsall are giving it everything, to be fair to them. They've finished 12th in the league. So for them to be still going for it in the 89th minute when they've got absolutely nothing to play for, well, good job this wasn't a final rather than a final game of the season, because my camera decided to turn off and in my panic I stopped the recording and you missed the final moments of the match, so you'd have missed a cartwheel. Not that we have Captain Cartwheel anymore to do us a cartwheel, but we are back now. And there is your confirmation that Holme have been promoted to the championship. What a ridiculous state of affairs. We've got our budgets as well. Should we find out what our budget is going to be for next season? Come on, Mrs Wearmouth. Be insane. You know you want to. I mean, that's considering that is actually bordering insanity. And that might be enough for us to lure one of the previous homegrown heroes back to the club. I'm particularly looking at Bachelorette Pitetta. I'm wondering, can we bring him back in permanently? I mean, he's apparently not as good as Andy Hall. Oh dear, his broken leg has caused problems. He was a 5-star potential player until then. He's missed almost a year at a crucial point in his career. Maybe we just try and loan him for another year. Can we loan him for another year? Go on, we can pay all of his wages. Loan him 1 more year. And it might be that he's not good enough anymore. Let's take him back on loan. Kieran Hodgkinson. We're absolutely not going to be able to get him permanently. There's no way he's going to leave Fulham. But can we get him on loan? No. They're looking to give him a chance in the first team. So we'll keep trying throughout the summer. But you might have seen the last of Kieran Hodgkinson for a little while. But Nathan Curry is already confirmed for next season. And we've got a few Premier League youngsters ready to come in as well. And we'll see how things go in the transfer special tomorrow. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.